like to thank you for taking the time to watch these short little videos, and hope you find them useful. One of the interesting things that we see out there is a claim of success regarding someone's work. And there's many claims out there and so forth and whatnot. And if you haven't noticed on my website, I generally have single session requirement for an individual at about 78%. I haven't made it to 80% yet, but generally I can take care of all the emotional traumas from the past in one session on 78% of my clients. Now the interesting thing about this is belief has nothing to do with it. And whether I'm able to get something, whatever the case might be, has other factors. For example, let's say somebody has something they have to take care of. So let's say an individual has an abuse from the past and creates a lot of anger. Well, this activity may continue for a while because it gives them the impetus to take further action on another issue that if that issue was not there and if it was removed earlier, then the current action needed would not be accomplished. So in regards to the work that we're doing and something of that sort, for example, let's say I do a session with somebody and we find out a couple of months later we missed something or we weren't able to get something. Generally all it takes is a phone call, and I take care over the phone in about 5 or 10 minutes, not a big deal. The other interesting thing about that is that there's no judgment in this work. So basically if we are lucky enough where we can get everything in one shot, that's great. But in those situations where we might have to do a couple of follow-up calls or something like that, I'm perfectly okay with that. Because it has nothing to do with failure or lack of or whatever the case is. There are other factors that are involved that prevent me from having 100% single session on every person I run into. On that note, I'd like to thank you for your time. I'll do another video shortly having to do with how the system works.